This is a special GC Wired news coverage of the 2012 student government elections.
I'm here with the SGA President Chaz. He's here to tell us a little bit about the elections that are coming up for our fine campus. So can you tell me when these elections are?
Yeah, they'll actually be February 27th through March 1st. That's a Monday through a Thursday. And then we'll announce the winner on Friday, the March 2nd.
Okay. And do you know who the candidates are already, or?
Well, we do know the candidates. We like to keep a secret until after the orientation, but we do have about at least one person running for every office. Some offices 2 already, some office has 3. So, yeah.
It's going to be competitive this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty competitive election. I don't see, like last year, the elections where nobody was running against our party. You know, this year it's actually, there's going to have to be a little work done in the campaigning and stuff, so.
Could that be from all the work SGA's been doing this year that more people want to get involved with it?
I think it's a lot to do with the change of everything. I mean, the feel of SGA, the energy it's creating, and then you have the change of the campus to a state college. You have just the overall atmosphere of excelling and doing better, and that's one of the things that comes out of this is more people then want to excel and do better, so they run for office.
Okay, well, then it's going to be an interesting election year then.
I think so. I think we'll have a very nice turnout.
And if somebody wanted to meet the candidates beforehand, when can they go about doing so?
It's actually, I believe it's Monday or Tuesday, March 20th, Monday, March 20th. And it'll be inside the cafeteria. They'll be there all day, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And running for office, what does somebody have to do to run? I mean, I'm sure you guys will let everybody in.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple requirements. You have to have a 2.5 GPA. You have to maintain 6 hours per semester in class. And you come in through the SGA room, grab an application. You have to go get 30 signatures on your application to be able to turn it in. And then from there, it would be just attending the orientation and making sure you get it in by the application deadline, which is where we got February 17th at 10 p.m. or 10 p.m. Wow, that would work. 10 a.m.
Yeah. What are the benefits of running for SGA other than, you know, being in power?
Well, you get a lot out of being in an office. You get the sense of professionalism, like pretty much how it would be to operate inside of a business. Thinking for a vast majority of people is a different experience, you know, and all the different involvement you have. And now being inside SGA and then running an officer in FCA is 2 different things. Like being an officer, you actually become a leader of a group of leaders. And it's a very, very different experience. It really helped me out a lot. But there's also a scholarship stipend. Makes it very worthwhile because you do put in certain office hours per week, anywhere from 5 to 7, you know, office hours a week. So we do compensate for that. Yeah.
How many office hours have you had sometimes?
I've put in over 40 in a week before.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's full time right there.
Yeah, alone, I know. we average it out and I make like 10 cents an hour or something like that.
Now you mentioned something about an orientation. What is that?
Well, basically it's where the candidates come. We explain the rules of campaigning, the rules for running for office, making sure everybody's eligible at that point, and it's like the cutoff point. So the deadline on February 17th for the applications at 10 a.m. also leads to the orientation at 2 p.m. on the same day, next Friday or this Friday. And the orientation, as soon as it is done, is the kickoff for campaigning. Right then you can kick off, put your flyers, buttons, banners, whatever you want to do.
But no mudslinging.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we'll see. And can you tell me when it is again for anybody who wasn't listening the first time?
Yeah, it's actually February 27th, which is a Monday, all the way to March 1st, which is a Thursday, and then Friday we'll announce the winner.
Okay. Sounds like it's going to be an interesting election, Chaz.
Yeah. And I want to real quick, go over the different offices we have to see, to let everybody know who we have. Of course, you have the president, which is the head of the organization, the speaker for the student body. Then you have 3 new offices we've created this year. You have vice president of student life.
Yeah.
They're in charge of anywhere from entertainment on campus to the overall feel of what the students want on the campus. This year, I mean, we're looking at bringing a beach volleyball pit, you know, mascot, intramural sports. Those are things vice president gets in charge of on the student life, on the top of free food events, drive-in movies, spring luau, stuff like that. Then you have the vice president of governmental affairs and organizational structure. All right, that's the vice president, second in command to the president. But what it also does is it makes sure the upkeep of the entire structure of SGA is still fully intact, working together. All the chains are going hand in hand. All the committees are executing their goals. And then also, as this year we've implemented, where now they focus more on legislative issues, state and national. So we'll be working really close with our Florida college system, and that's what that vice president will be, like a liaison between them. Also, there'll be like a liaison between the other sister campuses that we have. Then we have Vice President Budget and Finance, which is just that. All the monies that come through SGA go through this Vice President, whether it be special funding, funding the SGA spends on an event, all of it goes through this one officer. Then we have our parliamentarian. Our parliamentarian is the order of a meeting. Basically, you know the Robert's Rule of Order, up and down, and you, in the meeting, if somebody would step out of line, you step in. You also check eligibility for GPA for SGA members and reps, and then you, there's a couple things on the side, like different committees and stuff they're in charge of. Like all the new applications that come through SGA, they're in charge of that. Then you have our secretary, which is just that, but a secretary is, here is a very busy position. You're like publicity for the campus, but you also take notes during the meetings, keep the minutes, distribute them for all the members. All our e-board meetings, all the executive officers, you take minutes of that. You have it publicly for everybody to see. Then you, this year, our secretary has been in charge of publicity for all events on campus. He's actually taken one step farther and promoted other clubs' stuff too. Yeah. Then secretary also keeps attendance in the meetings and make sure everybody's following their attendance requirements. Yeah. But we have 6 total officers. So we have the president, vice president of budget and finance, vice president of governmental affairs and organizational structure, vice president of student life, parliamentarian, and secretary. All 6 offices are open this year. No officer this year is up for re-election this year. So it's all new officers coming in. Make sure you come by. Deadline is February 17th. And to turn an application, but you can also have a write-in candidate too. Yeah. Basically, write-in candidate, you don't get your name on the ballot, but you can still turn in your application up until the week of, and you don't even have to. As long as you turned your application in, then people can start writing you in. Yeah. So I mean, if you really wanted to, if you thought you could do it, you could turn it in on Thursday, March 1st, and then get a ton of people to write you in, but your name just wouldn't be on the ballot. Yeah. But Make sure you come out like this is a great experience to be inside SGA. Yeah. And
a lot of awards and skills to be learned from it.
A lot, and you know people can see that on campus. They see, they can see what student government's involved in. They want to be in it. So I think it'll be a great election this year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Chaz.
Thank you, Josh.
Coming down. Now then, it's up to you, students, to do your patriotic duty and vote for a new, good SGA, just like the one we just had this year.
Thank you.
And from GC Wired, thank you.